Hi, welcome to this video on my channel. My name is Caylene, and in today's video we're going to be crocheting this drawstring bag, and it's made to look like delicious butter popcorn. But we're not going to be using the popcorn stitch or anything fancy, so it's absolutely beginner friendly. For this project, I'm going to be using this fine weight cotton yarn with a 3.5mm hook. You also need a pair of scissors, a yarn needle, and something to measure with. Stitch markers are optional, but I recommend that you prepare at least two. So once you've got all the materials you need, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to begin with the base of the bag, so first make a slip knot. Now you're going to make an even number of chains, and I'm going to make 24. And once you've got 24 chains, make a single crochet into the second chain from the hook. And I'm going to put my single crochets into the bottom loop of the chains. And now I'm going to mark this stitch as the first stitch of the round. Now make another single crochet into the next chain in the same way. And put another single crochet into the next chain. Now continue in the same way all the way down the chain and stop once you have one chain remaining. Alright, so here's my row of single crochets, and here I've got one chain remaining, and we're going to work 3 single crochets into this last chain. So go ahead and work your first single crochet into this last chain, and then rotate your work just a little and work your second single crochet into the same chain. Hold this yarn tail down against your work and work your single crochets over this yarn tail. Now rotate your work just a little more and work your third single crochet into the same chain. Now you have 3 single crochets in this last chain, and the stitches that you made earlier should be upside down. And now we're going to put all the single crochets into the remaining chain loops, the opposite side of those stitches. So go ahead and put your next single crochet into this next stitch. Then one more into the next stitch. And another one. And you can give this yarn tail a gentle pull, and this tightens up the gap in this last chain. Now you're going to continue working a single crochet all the way down the chain, and stop once you have one chain remaining here. And here's how my work looks near the end of the round, with one stitch remaining here. We're going to do 2 single crochets in this last stitch. And now we're ready to finish off the round. We're going to do a slip stitch in this first stitch where the stitch marker is. And what I like to do when I join my rounds, which I've also shown in some of my other videos, is instead of doing the yarn over slip stitch like you would normally do, like this, I like to do yarn under slip stitches, which means you insert your hook into the stitch, and then your yarn goes under your hook, and then pull through. This gives you a tighter join. So now we're done with the base of the bag, with 48 stitches all the way around, and the base of my bag is 12 centimeters long. We're now ready to begin round 1 for the body of the bag. To begin, chain 2, and this doesn't count as a stitch. Now make 1 double crochet in the same stitch. And I'm going to mark this first stitch with my stitch marker. Now make another double crochet in the next stitch. And repeat in the next stitch. And do the same in the next stitch. Now continue with 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way around. By the end of the round, you should have 48 double crochets, or the same number of stitches that you have in the base of your bag. And now I'm going to join my round to finish this up, and here you'll see the slip stitch from the beginning of the round and the beginning chain of 2. We're going to skip all of that and make the yarn under slip stitch in this first stitch where the stitch marker is. Now leave this stitch marker where it is. And we're done with round 1. To begin round 2, chain 1, then turn your work to the other side. Again, this chain doesn't count as a stitch, and now we're looking at the inside of the bag, which is the wrong side of your work. Now into this first stitch, we're going to make a treble crochet. So you wrap the yarn around your hook 2 times, then insert your hook into the stitch. Yarn over and pull up a loop. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. Yarn over and pull through the next 2 loops. And then again, yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops. Now make a single crochet in the next stitch. Now repeat. Treble crochet into the next stitch. Then single crochet into the next stitch. Then again, treble crochet into the next stitch. And single crochet into the next stitch. So continue alternating between your treble crochets and single crochets, and I'll meet you back at the end of the round. Alright, I'm back at the end of the round, and I have 1 stitch remaining where the stitch marker is. So your last stitch should be a single crochet. So remove the stitch marker and make the last single crochet. Then to finish off this round, join with a slip stitch into the top of the first treble crochet. Now I'm going to put my stitch marker into the same stitch where I made the join. And this finishes off round 2, and you should have a total of 48 stitches all the way around. Let's take a moment to look at the outside of the bag. See these little treble crochet bumps. These bumps were formed by the much shorter single crochets scrunching up the long treble crochets. And notice that they stick out at the back and not at the front of the stitches. And we want these little bumps to be facing out, which is why you work round 2 on the wrong side of your work. Now to begin round 3, we're going to chain 2, then turn back to the outside of the bag. Make a double crochet in this first stitch, which is at the top of a single crochet. Then put another double crochet into the top of the next stitch, which is a treble crochet and looks like a stretched out V. Now repeat. Double crochet into the top of the next single crochet, and another double crochet into the top of the next treble crochet. Then continue with one double crochet in each of the remaining stitches all the way around. I'm at the end of round 3 with one stitch left where the stitch marker is, and it's helpful to have this stitch marker here just so that you don't accidentally skip this last stitch. So I'm going to remove this stitch marker and put my last double crochet into the top of this treble crochet. Then to finish off this round, ignore this beginning chain of 2, then slip stitch into the top of this first double crochet. There should be 48 double crochets total, and from here on, you're going to repeat rounds 2 and 3 until your bag is about 13 centimeters high, or however high you want your bag to be. Make sure to check your stitch count at the end of each round. You should always have the same number of stitches as in the base of your bag, and that's 48 in my case. And also don't forget to turn your work at the beginning of each round. So go ahead and pause the video, and let's meet back again when we're finished with the body of the bag. I'm back with a total of 15 rounds, and my bag ended up to be about 14 centimeters high. And your last round should be a row of plain double crochets. So after you've joined your last round, we're going to do one more additional round to make the edge of the bag. So to begin, chain 2. And this time we're not going to turn our work. So staying on the right side of your work, make a double crochet in the same stitch where the chain is in. And this time I'm going to mark this first double crochet. Now carry on to do one double crochet into every stitch all the way around. Alright, I'm at the end of the round, and to finish off, slip stitch into the top of the first double crochet where the stitch marker is. And now you can cut and fasten off. Alright, now that we're done with the body of the bag, we only have one thing left to do, and that's weaving in the strings. And to keep things simple, you can make 2 chains that are about 44 centimeters long to use as strings. One string goes in from the right and the other from the left, and we're going to be weaving them in through the gaps in between the double crochets in the second row from the top. And as you can see, I've already marked where to weave them in. I've placed a stitch marker over 2 double crochets, the first stitch of the round and the last stitch of the round. And because this beginning chain here doesn't count as a stitch, I've also included that. Then I counted 22 stitches from this stitch marker, then placed another stitch marker over the next 2 double crochets. This way we have an equal number of stitches on both sides in between the stitch markers. So go ahead and mark your stitches, and let's begin weaving in the strings. To weave in the first string, thread it through the yarn needle and insert your needle into the gap next to one of the stitch markers. Then your needle goes under 2 double crochets, then over the next 2 double crochets. So continue to go under and over 2 double crochets at a time all the way around. And once you get back to where you started, pull the string out through the gap on the other side of the stitch marker so that these 2 double crochets that you marked are in between the 2 ends of the string. Now remove the yarn needle and adjust to align the 2 ends. And now you can remove this first stitch marker. To weave in the second string, flip your bag over so that the second stitch marker is at the right, then repeat what you did with the first string. Your second string should go in and out of the same gaps as the other string. And also be careful not to get your yarn needle caught in any of the stitches. And once you get back to where you started, pull out so that these 2 double crochets are in between the 2 ends. Now remove the stitch marker and align all the ends. Now tie a knot on both ends. And that's all there is to it. If you found this tutorial helpful in any way, please give me a thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share this video with anyone who might like it. And it's always a delight to hear from you, so please do leave me a comment if you made this bag. So thank you for watching and for your support, and I'll see you again in my next video.